Right, so doing the fit out of the Br101 from Marklin Trix. 2 screws, take off the metal body carefully, gives you access to all the insides. You can see the motor there. To get the motor out, you've got to take 2 screws out from the underside of the bogie, and the bogie drops out from the bottom of the loco. Those are 2 screws, and then the motor will then lift out from above the chassis upwards, and that gives you access to the motor and the chassis. And then I cut the red wire so you can take the chassis out as well at a later time. Just take out the screws, bend back one of the resistors, take the screws out for the motor. 2 screws hold the motor casing in, then you can pull back the motor casing, and then it gives you access to the 3-pole motor. All that wants to come out, so you desolder all that, take all that off, but leave the wires, enough wires so you can re-establish the new motor. Take the new coreless motor out, make sure it's all nice and clean, which it is anyway when you get it out of the packet. It's a new motor ready to go in. When you fit the new motor, you'll discover it will not go in. I try fitting it in and just to see, and it doesn't engage properly on the spindles, on the motor gearing. So you need to remove a section of steel. That section of steel there has got to come out. We hacksawed it out on a jig and dremeled it as well using a Dremel tool. Got it nice and smooth. Got the liquid metal glue ready for going in. Cleaned it all up. Apply the metal glue very sparingly and make sure it doesn't fall back into the gearing. So when you put the motor in, make sure you turn it the other way around, so if there's any drips it'll come back on the motor casing rather than the gearing, like that. And just secure it, leave it for a while, let it cure. It goes off quickly, this stuff, and then it cures over 24 hours. That's the motor installed, ready to go back in. Yeah, so fairly straightforward. The only part is doing the machining of the actual metal on the casing. Right, so we're all done on this model, I think. Just give it a quick run just to see whether it's working, and it is working very nice with this lens standard plus chip, so I might just leave this chip in. I was going to put an ESU chip in, but it works fine. Soon find out when I get it on the layout. So green wire off the PCB to the bottom and the blue wire on the top on the coreless motor. The most difficult part has been the machining of the motor chassis to fit the new motor. The rest of it's straightforward. Got a redundant wire here, this brown earth. I'm not sure exactly what that's for, to tell you the truth at the moment. It's got a pantograph, electrified pantograph on this model, so not sure if it's anything to do with that. Also got the Herpa tools from the advent calendar. They're all finished and done. Really nice set. Really durable screwdriver with the bits inside. Opens up really nice. All the bits inside. And then you've got this little bar that comes out of here, which you can use to hold bits in, and plus that rotates on a bearing, so it's easier to turn. You can hold it in 2 positions. Screwdriver. Then the bottle opener, which is really good. Opens the bottles perfectly. No sharp edges on it as well. It's brilliant. So that's that. And I'm going to fire this up now. So power up. It's virtually silent. Yeah. It's a lot less noisier than the original motor. Yeah, when putting metal bodies on, like die-cast metal bodies on, with insulate metal conductive strips on the inside, you've got to make sure protect the interface on the top of the digital chip, because I've had it in the past where I put the body on and it's blown the chip. The sound chip as well, because I didn't put protection over this area here, because it touched the body. Completely fried the chip, and that's an expensive mistake. Yeah, so let's have a look. Nice and smooth. I'm going to put in the Lock Pilot 5 with the advanced settings. It should be even smoother, but this is really quite acceptable as it is on the default settings on the lens digital plus decoders. Really nice, that, nice and smooth. So much less noisy, because this particular logo had a screeching motor. It'll just do these random screeches, and I tried solving it, I could never solve it. And it was very noisy. But now we've got the maintenance free motor, no oiling, no brushes. What's strange about the coreless motors is you can move the logo. The track, it's free moving. Although you can have a brake, an assisted parking brake on the coreless motors, so when if you're on an incline, they're not going to roll off loco. I'm really happy with that. Anyway, that's one done. I've just got the other one, which I'm doing now at the moment. Got all the soldering iron kit out, and I'm just in the process. I've just glued up the motor into the chassis on this one here, and that's just drying. It's virtually dry now anyway, so I can mount that into the chassis and wire up all the wires. Get the other body on. Just looking at Marklin, because I need to order some parts. On the other model I've got a buffer. The buffer beam is broken, or the buffer part, and one of the lights, LED lights have failed. So I'm just looking at getting a few spare parts from Marklin if I can, or find another suitable supplier on eBay, which there are suppliers of Marklin parts on eBay, so that's another thing I'm doing. Yeah, so I've got 2 lens plus digital plus decoders, default settings, new 2 Br101s now. They're running really nice and smooth. Coupled up, they're just running perfectly in tandem, no messing around with any adjustments. So that's nice and smooth. I've got a bit of a rattling sound on one of the logos, which I've got to investigate. I don't think I put something back properly. I think there's something knocking. Got to have a look at that. Anyway, I'm going to try the Locksound 5 Lock Pilot V5s in there as well, which I got on order. I'm going to try them anyway, just to see. But I'm not going to get smoother than this, I don't think. Really nice. So that's 3 projects finished now, and the next project I'm going to do is this is the BR42. This recycles steam exit in the chimney and recycles it through the pistons, creates more power, and then it exits by these 2 little chimneys on the top of the boiler further back. Really unusual model and prototype. So I'm going to try and put Locksound 5 in this. Locksound 5 Micro and Cube speaker. I'm not going to get a key speaker The motor's in this area. The cab's full, can't get it in the cab. We'll have to go for the coal bunker, I think. See if we can get it all in there.